The issues of our Kenyan football cannot be sorted through dialogues. And I'm saying this because I have seen on the media people talking about dialogues. In fact, not once, not twice, I have heard Sam Nyamwea saying that his camp is ready for dialogue, to have a dialogue with FKF President Nick Mwendwa to see and to find the way forward. I want to say this: the issues and the problems affecting Kenyan football cannot be sorted through dialogues. Because in 2010, we had a dialogue between Sam Nyamwea and Hatme. Today, we find ourselves here where, again, people are demanding for dialogues. In 2015, you remember that the election was marred with so many problems. Even anti-riot police were involved. Tear gases were involved. And you know that that election, from 2015, it went on to be completed in 2016 February. And you remember that Sam Nyamwea did quit a week before the conclusion of that election, and Nick Mwendwa was announced the winner of that election, and that's how he got into the FKF office. Now here, 2020, we find ourselves in the same problems that were eating us in 2010, the same problems that were disturbing us in 2015 and 2016. Now, what this tells you is this: our Kenyan football has so many issues, our Kenyan football is full of rot, and that we have not yet found a mechanism to conduct elections properly. As you know, 2 elections have been done already. One in November 2019. Uhaga cancelled it. The next one, a repeated election, was done in March this year, 2020. Uhaga cancelled it. And that is because the elections were not conducted well. There were some issues related to elections, because I can promise you, I can attest to this. Judge Uhaga is not just there just to cancel elections or to decide overnight to cancel elections. He goes through a rigorous process to find whether the election was conducted well, and we know both elections were cancelled. Now, what I want to say is this: Nyamwea has already served 4 years, 2010 to 2015. Nick Mwendwa has already served 4 years, 2016 to 2020, until now. Now, if any of them forgotten to do something that they thought could have saved Kenyan football, that time is gone. So right now, as we speak, Nick Mwendwa, I'm addressing him as an aspirant. His term of office is finished. What I want to say is this: 4 years is a very long time. And I'm not saying that Sam Nyamwea cannot be re-elected or cannot come back. That is not up to me. I'm not saying that Nick Mwendwa cannot be re-elected. That is not my point. That is not my part. Who am I to say that? What I want to say is this: Kenyan football issues will not and cannot be sorted through dialogue. These stories like wazee wa nyumba kumi, to sit down and to discuss about Kenyan football, we must now get out of that. We must start now talking about policies of our Kenyan football. How the governance of our Kenyan football is going to be fixed, how the youth football is going to be fixed, how the women football is going to be fixed, how the management of our Kenyan football is going to be fixed. This is not about dialogue. We need to see real policies. And this is why I'm saying this. We have had enough time to analyze Kenyan football. We have had enough time to analyze problems and to come up with the solutions. The way forward is this: it is a Kenyan football revolution that need to take place. And then after the revolution, FKF as a football governing body can go as well. In the heat of the revolution, FKF will go. The next process after there now is to put yeah, to put the solutions forward to the people. We know what we are talking about. Vision Total Football Kenya Group, we have had enough time to deal with the solutions. Kenyans, all you need is to trust us. We have never said something that has not come to be. We have never promised something that we have not done. Who is Vision Total Football Kenya Group? Vision Total Football Kenya Group is a group of like-minded people, and the group is big. Out there, it is supported by thousands of people in Kenya at the grassroots and all over the place. People have heard enough already about the vision. People are waiting for the revolution. And I'm telling you, it is going to happen. We promise Kenyans it is going to happen. It is just a matter of time, and it is going to happen. Now, football elections will not solve Kenyan football problems. Normalization committees will not solve Kenyan football problems. And three things have been constant in our Kenyan football. Elections that are full of problems. Normalization committees have been there. Yeah. If those two things have not worked, we need a lasting solution. And that lasting solution will come through a football revolution so that we can address all the issues at once. And when I talk about addressing the issues, I'm not talking about addressing the issues through dialogue. It's through policies. That is what it is going to happen. Vision Total Football Kenya is about policies. It is about fixing our Kenyan football once and for all. Now, currently, there is no football president aspirant in Kenya who can fix the issues of Kenyan football. There is no any person in Kenya right now who can actually do what our Kenyan football require. This is why I'm saying we need a holistic approach. We need a revolution so that all of us can become so that all of us can become part of the solution. All of us need to get involved. But the way we need to get involved is not through election. It is not through normalization committee. It is through a revolution. That is when that everyone is going to be part of it. Everyone is going to become a solution, and the revolution will touch every single home, every single village in Kenya, so that together we can move together forward as Team Kenya in terms of Vision Total Football Kenya. When I say Team Kenya, I'm talking about people-centered football for Kenyans, for everyone in Kenya. Currently, only very few people that are benefiting from our Kenyan football, and this must change. Now, football economy, it is an area that we must address it seriously. Our football lacks money, our football lacks economy, our football does not contribute to our country's GDP, and this is dangerous. Our Kenyan football is a multi-billion economy. Today, if you ask any of the FKF president seat aspirant, ask them, how are you going to fix our Kenyan football economy? Because players are suffering, coaches are suffering, everyone who is involved in Kenyan football is not enjoying it, is poor. Why? Only few people, yeah, who are benefiting from our Kenyan football, and we know who they are. Now, we want football that benefits the country. That is the main thing. And I will use the words of the late Professor George Saitot, that there comes a time when a country is more important than an individual or than individuals. This time is now for Kenya. Now, think about it. The suffering of our Kenyan football players is just too much. We had Philomen Otieno not long ago. You remember the issue of treatment, the issue of AFCON, and whether it's Gor Mahia or whether it's FKF that was meant to pay for the players' treatment. Now, not long ago, just last week, we had the issue of Martin Mbalambala. Yeah? And I pray for this player. But we all know exactly what is happening with Martin Mbalambala right now. Why are all these issues coming along? Yes, no one can predict a disease. No one can stop a disease. But we need to have, plans in place for when things like this happen. Our football is big. Our football is supposed to be that big that one or two isolated cases of players should not cause problems to the country. Now, as you know, again, we have the issue of Jeremy Wanjala again. Jeremy Wanjala issue is really hurting me. You know, Jeremy Wanjala is the player who won the Player of the Month award with Kakamega Homeboys in 2018. Who you striker. And now he's here because he's suffering from a form of cancer. And now I know that well-wishers and AFC Leopard, they are trying to see how they can buy a motorbike worth 80,000 Kenya shilling to support the family. But if you look here, these three players already, Philemon Otieno, Martin Mbalambala, Wanjala, there is a neglect here. The primary duty of care for these players lies with FKF. And the issue of FKF failing, on the agenda of club licensing, where the clubs that all these players have played for, they should have had already a certain kind of medical cover that right now would have been activated to at least help these players along the way. Yes, it may not be a lot of money, but something should have been there. When I hear somebody like Martin Mbalambala lacking 4,000 Kenya shilling to go for a consultation, once a month, a player who has played up to this level, a player who has been a captain for AFC Leopard, a player who has played for the national team, and now here we are with Wanjala, the same thing. There is a big problem in our football system, and this problem must be addressed soon and very soon. But so many isolated cases are happening. So many problems are occurring everywhere, not just to do with the football election. Problems are everywhere. And this is why I'm so clear that these problems must be addressed at once through a football revolution. Once we do that, we are going to start seeing better days in regards to Kenyan football. Remember, we buried Joe Kadenge last year. Last year, and the problems that Joe Kadenge was facing, all along, and the suffering, and many players who played around his time. That's a one generation. Let's go to the next generation, where we had the generation of Peter Dow, Henry Mutego, Mohamed Abbas. I mean, think of that generation that's around 58, 60 years old. Now that generation is suffering the same fate. Now we have another generation, the generation of Mbalambala. This is the same generation, Mbalambala, Jeremy Wanjala. This generation is suffering the same. If we do nothing, another generation that is 20 years to 15 years old is going to suffer the same. Let us fight now. We have struggled enough. Please, Wakenya wenzangu, join this football revolution. Join the struggle for a better football in Kenya, so that we can address all the issues and make sure that going forward, our clubs are better. Our players are being paid well. There is money in our football. Our football economy is activated. Sponsors will have confidence in our football. Sponsors will come back. These issues cannot be addressed by the current Football Federation. It is good to be honest. It is good to tell people things the way they are. We know, as Vision Total Football Kenya Group, the current Football Federation cannot address these issues. The aspirant, those who want to be elected as the next football president, cannot address these issues. Nick Mwendwa cannot address these issues. These issues must be addressed holistically, and together as a nation, we must address them together. How will that happen? That will happen by first going for a football revolution, and then we can start addressing issues. Hand-picking issues or cherry-picking issues, this one, that one, that one, that one, this will take us another 50 years. We have suffered enough. We have seen enough problems in our football. We must say enough is enough, and the time to fix problems must be now, soon, and very soon. I live in peace. I'm gone.